I choose, however, to take one small comfort in the terrible dream. Though I can raise the moon as well as the sun, Luna possesses other gifts I have never been able to emulate. One such gift is her ability to walk through other ponies' dreams. I choose to believe that these nightmares, horrible as they are her cry for help. That means my sister still lives. I believe it is only the entity that holds her that twists the dreams she sends into such terrible nightmares. I have sought to find other messages from my sister hidden among the night's terrors, but so far my efforts have been in vain. Do you really think it's Princess Luna trying to contact us? If she's alright, do you think that means maybe the others are still okay too? Asked Rainbow Dash, a flicker of hope behind her tearful eyes. That I do not know, but we will find out. I will tell you something I have not told Shining Armor, Trixie, or any of my other advisors. It is my hope that if we can find traces of this ritual, we may also find the trail of the one who took Princess Luna. Fate willing, she will be safe, and we can free her from whatever tortures she has done to endure. The serious look in Celestia's face melted away as she saw the worry working its way back into Rainbow Dash's eyes. She smiled comfortingly and said, "But fret not about that just now. The night is long, and the quest that lies ahead is fraught with peril. You should accompany me on my night rounds. I would certainly welcome the company, and we can stave off sleep's dread embrace together, perhaps while telling stories to one another of our lost friends over a few cups of warm cocoa." "That actually sounds really nice, Princess," said Dash, brightening. "Count me in." Fragrant grasses scented the night as a soft breeze carried the delicate bouquet of autumn across open fields. The night seemed darker, this close to the ever-free forest, but it didn't matter to the creature that dragged itself noisily through the overgrown fields. There was only one sense driving it, and it had little to do with vision. Something in the distance called to it, something it felt impossible to resist, something sweet. The nights were getting longer, getting colder. Two ponies had lit a small campfire for warmth, and its crackling light shone like a beacon in the distance. "Do you hear that, brother? Something's out in the fields," said one worriedly to the other. "Relax, brother. It's probably just some little woodland creature foraging for a bit of sustenance. Pay it no mind," said the other confidently. Moving faster now, the creature flew across the face of the earth, moving swiftly towards the sound of voices. A low farmhouse stood, worn and ramshackle, just beyond the firelight. Only a few feet away from the ring of light the creature collapsed with a whimper. "There it is again, brother. Closer this time," said the first voice, as nervously as before. "It sounds too big to be a little woodland creature. Don't you think we should make sure it's nothing too big to be foraging for, say, a pair of pony folk?" "Swear to yourself. If you want, I'll have a look," the second voice responded. "Care to make a wager? I'd be willing to bet it's nothing more than a teeny tiny bunny rabbit making all the ruckus." A sudden green brilliant glow sprang up from the owner of the second voice, the illumination emanating from the unicorn's horn. He began to walk into the fields and almost immediately stopped. Something lay among the grass, dark in the verdant light. "I think I'd be willing to take that bet, brother," said the first voice, with a shade of triumph. "That doesn't look like any bunny rabbit I've ever seen." A second green glow came to life as the other unicorn's illumination joined the first, his horn literally shedding a bit more light on the situation. "Why, I don't believe it's a pony. A mare, if I'm not mistaken, and a Pegasus at that. She looks exhausted. Come closer, brother, so we can get a better look at her. I think she's trying to say something. Indeed, the pony was mumbling something under her breath. It sounded like, "Hungry, please help me. I'm so hungry. Give me something, something." The first unicorn, the older brother, leaned to hear her better. "Give me something sweet to bite." The Pegasus lunged at the unicorn, her teeth clipped empty air where his throat was but only a moment ago. Black padding as quickly as he could, the mare would have gotten the unicorn with her second bite, had it not been for a sudden mountain of muzzle appearing almost miraculous to intercept her. A massive red stallion, the cutie mark of a green apple half adorning his flank, grimaced as the yellow Pegasus dug her teeth into the flesh of his shoulder. "Back, back, you pony folk. Those teeth of hers are no joke." Another pony, this one with its features hidden beneath a brown cloak, strode into the firelight. The brothers looked at one another, not sure what to do. "Unless you, too, want a painful bite, withdraw, fall back, and move out of sight." The unicorns backed away slowly from the earth ponies, making sure to keep them between themselves and the Pegasus that had attacked. The stallion held her tightly as she struggled to break free. Without missing a beat, her shrouded figure moved swiftly towards the pair, of which drew a vial from the lining of her cloak. Unstopping the cork with her teeth, she slipped the end of the vial between the crazed mare's teeth and poured its glowing contents down her throat. A scream pierced the night as the pony opened her mouth to gag and split. The Pegasus withered in the earth, convulsing violently as she split up wet, undefinable chunks of dark matter. As suddenly as the convulsions had started, they ceased, and the small yellow mare lay bloody-mouthed in the dirt. The cloaked figure paid her no heed, however, moving quickly instead to the stallion's side. Using a pair of forceps and tweezers, she operated swiftly, removing something from his wounds before pausing to say, "This will only get worse. It is the night that brings out her curse. I think I can neutralize the shards with what's in my sack. Is that all right with you, Big Mac?" "Yup," was all the massive earth pony said as Ikora pulled back her hood and drew another vial from inside her saddlebag. This one seemed to burn like the sun, literally sizzling as it touched the wounds. Big Macintosh didn't even flinch as the concoction coated his shoulder, instead giving a quiet sigh. It seemed that, for the moment, the crisis had been averted. Zikora covered the wounds with a thick piece of gauze that made a hasty bandage. Only then did she turn to the unicorn brothers, who had stood stock still as she had done her work. She seemed to look them over, searching for something, making sure that hadn't also been wounded, perhaps. "Well, I don't know what to say. Thanks, big guy," said the older unicorn, a smile under his perfect mustache. This quickly faded under Big Mac Bear. "I think." "What was that thing?" asked the younger unicorn, shaking. "It looked like a pony, but—" "She looks like a pony, because a pony she was. Her condition, a curse, the unfortunate cause. Fluttershy is that thing's name. Shall I ask of the two of you the same?" responded the Cora brusquely. "But of course. Where my manners? My mildly shaken brother here is Flim, and I am Flam." As if it was a long-practiced reflex, both brothers doffed their straw hats at the same time and took a bow. "We're here. We're the most world-famous Flim-Flam brothers, traveling ponies nonpareil. At your service, miss? Zikora will be fine for you two. What exactly is it what you do?" she asked nonchalantly as she wiped the excess potion from Big Mac's shoulder and dropped the cloth into her saddlebag. "Well, like my brother said, we are traveling sales ponies, always looking for the next big score, town to help out with our amazing abilities, tricks, tonics, and appendages. We do it all," cried Flim opening a greasy carpet bag and displaying various bottles, gadgets, and knickknacks of varying sizes and states of repair. We're known far and wide, from Manhattan to Hoboken. I'm afraid we're just a tiny bit lost. You see, we've heard of this marvelous opportunity in a rather small community here about called Ponyville. You wouldn't happen to be able to give us their directions, would you? Asked Fram. Nope, said Big Macintosh, his tail swishing in agitation. Beg pardon, sir? What Big Mac means to say is that Ponyville has gone away, said the zebra, at last turning her attention to the Pegasus in the dirt. She bent down to look over Fluttershy. As she wiped the blood from the Pegasus' mouth with a damp cloth, the flower suddenly gasped and coughed. In moments her eyes fluttered open, and she gave a weak smile. If you are wise, you will go too. This land is dangerous at night. It is true. I'm sorry, but I just don't get what is going on here, cried Flim in exasperation. All friendly pretense swept aside. This Pegasus just comes out of tall grass and nearly bites my brother's head off. You keep making cryptic statements in rhyme, and your big friend here is giving us the evil eye as if we said something untoward about his mother. He just doesn't like squatters, began Zecora. And now you're telling us that Ponyville, the town we've traveled for months to get to, is just gone? Just like that? Vanished into thin air, I suppose. Well, what exactly is going on? Fire, the Crimson Pony said grimly. Death, he continued as he clumped towards the two unicorns. In the light of their campfire, they could see that his right eye was missing, replaced with a ragged hole in a mass of scar tissue. Indeed, what parts of his body that weren't covered by a dark-stained cloak looked as though they had been burned or cut to ribbons at some point in the recent past. Indeed, some of the wounds were fresher than the others, and in various states of healing, though these looked more like bite or claw marks. The brothers could only guess at what had caused them. His shaggy orange mane wafting in the breeze, Big Macintosh loomed over the Unicorn brothers and spoke the final words with more contempt than the pair had ever heard in their lives. Candy.